What if I told you that Google just handed away its top-tier medical AI for free? No hidden walls, no expensive APIs, just powerful tools, downloadable and tweakable by anyone, hospitals, developers, researchers, even medical students. Sound insane? It's real. And today on WorldScope News, we're diving deep into MedGemma 27B multimodal, MedGemma 4B, and MedSigLIP, Google's boldest move yet in healthcare AI. And it just might reshape how medicine works in the 21st century. Traditionally, Google has hidden its best AI behind locked APIs, subscription fees, or worse, not released them at all. But now, that's changing. MedGemma 27B multimodal is available for download. Hospitals can host it on premises. Developers can fine-tune it. Researchers can experiment without limitations. Alongside it, we have MedGemma 4B, a lean, efficient version. And MedSigLIP, a multimodal imaging model just 400 million parameters strong. Why does this matter? Because open sourcing medical AI changes everything. It democratizes access, it allows customization, and it builds trust, the ability to inspect and validate the model before deployment. That is politically and clinically powerful. Multimodal capabilities. While earlier MedGemma versions could read medical texts, this beast can see chest X-rays, pathology slides, patient records over years, all interpreted together. Think of it like a doctor, reading history, visually examining scans, then synthesizing both into a clinical insight. Performance. On MedQA, a standard medical knowledge test, MedGemma 27B scored 87.7%. That's nearly on par with massive proprietary models, but at just a tenth the compute cost. For cash-strapped healthcare systems, that's nothing short of transformative. MedGemma 4B may be tiny in today's multi-billion parameter world, but it packs a punch. It scored 64.4% on MedQA, one of the highest performances in its size class. After generating chest X-ray reports, researchers had board-certified US radiologists review them. 81% of the reports were deemed accurate enough to guide real patient care. That's medical-grade performance, from a model small enough to run on a single GPU, or potentially even mobile devices. Enter MedSigLIP, a 400 million parameter vision language model. Trained on chest X-rays, tissue slides, dermatology images, eye scans, and general medical imagery, this baby packs serious vision power. Key use case: give it an X-ray and ask, find similar cases in the database. It doesn't just match visual patterns, it understands medical relevance. This is the kind of lightweight yet clinically aware model ideal for quick imaging insight, in resource-limited settings. All of this sounds cool on paper, but can real clinicians use it? Early feedback says yes. Deep Health, Massachusetts, tested MedSigLIP for chest X-ray triage. It surfaced potential problems that busy radiologists might miss, acting as a safety net. At Changgung Memorial Hospital, Taiwan, MedGemma interpreted traditional Chinese medicine texts, a surprise use case demonstrating multilingual and multimodal flexibility. And in India, TAP Health emphasized something crucial. MedGemma doesn't hallucinate medical facts, it knows when context matters. This isn't conversational fluff, it's medical reasoning. Doctors want medical AI they can trust. These models are giving him just that. So why does going open source matter so much in healthcare? Data privacy and ownership. Hospitals can host the model on site. Patient data never leaves. Customizability. Hospitals can adjust it to local protocols, languages, specialties. Reproducibility. Research teams can run the same model over years without sudden changes. That's critical for clinical validity. Cost and access. No more API fees. No vendor lock-in. Smaller hospitals and developing countries can benefit too. Overall, this isn't just sharing code, it's giving power and autonomy back to healthcare communities. But Google is clear, these models are not a replacement for doctors. They're complex tools that require human oversight. Their suggestions need clinical correlation. Their recommendations must be checked and verified by qualified professionals. Even the best AI can make mistakes, especially with rare presentations or unusual edge cases. This approach ensures models are used as assistive tools, not as clinical decision makers. Because these tools are now open source, They're accessible to resource-limited hospitals running on modest GPU setups, medical researchers needing tailored models for niche use cases, educators and students who can explore without cost or restrictions, global health initiatives adapting AI to endemic health challenges. These models run on a single GPU, and MedGemma 4B might even run on mobile phone GPUs. That means point-of-care tools could exist in rural clinics, anywhere. In the coming months, watch for TAP Health, India, building local language triage and diagnostic tools with MedGemma. Changgung, Taiwan, integrating AI into traditional medicine workflows. Deep Health, US, expanding triage assistance for radiologists under stress. New global partnerships in Africa, Latin America with small teams using these tools to fill gaps in care. This isn't just tech, it's a public health upgrade. One of the most overlooked, but revolutionary, details. You don't need a supercomputer to run these models. That's right. Unlike mega models like GPT-4 or Gemini Ultra, Google's MedGemma and MedSigLIP were specifically engineered to be lightweight, flexible, and hardware-friendly. They can run on single NVIDIA GPUs like the A100 or even lower-end 3090s. Local hospital servers without needing internet access. On-prem data centers, completely self-contained. And in the case of MedSigLIP, even edge devices or future mobile AI accelerators. This makes it ideal for remote hospitals, pop-up medical labs in conflict zones, education labs in universities, private research institutions with limited funding. It's not just high-tech, it's high accessibility. This shift also creates a powerful ripple in how healthcare infrastructure is designed. If you're running MedGemma in your own hospital system, you control how it's updated. You monitor what it sees. You determine how it's integrated into your workflows. There's no third-party cloud vendor holding your data hostage. No reliance on pay-per-call tokens. No mystery updates that change how the model behaves overnight. It restores clinical predictability, a critical requirement in regulated environments like hospitals. Now let's talk landscape. Google isn't the first company to release medical AI, but it is the first to open source something this capable and at this scale. Only MedGemma 27B delivers this combo of scale, multimodal intelligence, open access, and clinical verification. In short, it's a true tool for medical practitioners, not just a lab demo. Let's break down a few case studies already in motion. India TAP Health, India. They're using MedGemma to develop local language diagnostic chat tools for rural clinics. MedGemma adapts well to Hindi, Tamil, and other Indian languages, making it perfect for non-English contexts. Taiwan Changgung Memorial Hospital, Taiwan. They've integrated MedGemma into traditional Chinese medicine systems. It not only understands complex texts, it provides evidence-based support while respecting alternative medicinal frameworks. United States Deep Health, United States. The use of MedSigLIP provides second opinion imaging support in radiology. For burned-out staff and overbooked schedules, it's become a clinical safety net. Expect similar adoption in Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, Eastern Europe, where access to radiologists and AI compute is limited, but medical demand is skyrocketing. Zoom out for a moment. The world's healthcare systems are under pressure. Rising patient counts, shortages of specialists, exploding medical data, budget constraints in public health. AI isn't a cure-all, but tools like MedGemma and MedSigLIP can reduce diagnostic error, free up specialist time, offer second opinion insights, translate medical reasoning across languages and imaging formats, power medical education in low-cost settings. Most importantly, they scale. Once installed, one hospital can serve thousands of patients per day using one AI instance. This isn't the end, it's just the start. So what can we expect from Google and the broader open-source AI community in healthcare next? 1. Smaller MedGemma models for mobile devices. Low-latency versions that could run on edge devices, emergency field kits, or smartphones. 2. Clinical trial integration, helping researchers synthesize years of patient data and predict trial outcomes more effectively. 3. Local language expansion, building out multilingual datasets for Swahili, Bengali, Urdu, Tagalog, and others. AI medicine can't be global until it speaks like the world. 4. Surgical assistance, real-time image and motion feedback during procedures. 5. Mental health diagnostics, analyzing vocal tone, facial expressions, and self-reported symptoms to flag patterns unseen by rushed clinicians. We'd be lying if we said this is all sunshine and progress. Healthcare AI, especially open source, comes with very real concerns. Data misuse. Patient data must never be exposed during testing or fine-tuning. Model misuse. Without strong guardrails, someone could deploy MedGemma in unregulated environments. Overtrust. Clinicians might lean too heavily on model outputs without applying clinical judgment. Bias. Models trained on majority populations might fail in minority or rare disease cohorts. That's why Google's position remains cautious. These are tools, not replacements. Assistance, not authority. Support, not substitution. It's on the medical community to verify, validate, and regulate how they're deployed. Google's not just being generous. Let's be clear, they're also being strategic. By open sourcing, Google gains massive community feedback, increases dataset contributions, gets adoption in global healthcare systems, builds trust as a tech partner, not just a vendor, and preemptively earns a place in future public health ecosystems. The more hospitals that use MedGemma, the more hospitals that don't depend on closed rivals like Microsoft Azure Health or Amazon HealthLake. So here's the bottom line. Google's MedGemma and MedSigLIP aren't just impressive, they're transformative. They're giving doctors in underfunded systems new tools. They're powering education and medical research. They're letting hospitals break free from API paywalls. But they still require oversight. They still need clinical wisdom. And they still depend on human compassion. Because AI can spot pneumonia, but it can't sit beside a worried patient and say, "You're going to be okay." That's still our job. Here at WorldScope News, we believe this is the beginning of a healthcare revolution. Not one driven by profits, but by access, autonomy, and intelligence that serves people first. If you're a doctor, a developer, or just someone who cares about better medicine, pay attention to what's happening here. Because it's not just tech news anymore. It's your hospital, your doctor, your future health, and for the first time, you might have an AI model that listens, understands, and helps. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more world-changing tech insights from WorldScope News.